Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, NFL Week 6 breakdown. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about after the Falcons shocked the Buffalo Bills there on a Monday night wild one. We're going to get right into it and break it all down and hopefully give you guys some interesting takes that we'll try not to be as negative as we need to be here, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I am Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill, Mr. T. Reese, and Mr. Pulley B. And guys, what happened? What happened? How? What? Why did we blow that game? Like,
Well, there was
what's
a time where I was just thinking about some things, and there was like this poet, and I'm just trying to remember what this poet said.
Fire
Um,
everybody.
oh, fire everybody, and that poet's name is Mike Suffoletto. Fire everybody. Enough's enough, right? Isn't it enough? I'm being hyperbolic though.
I
But I
mean, maybe
appreciate that. I just want everyone
Clearly,
to know that we
clearly.
were quoting Mike. He is a poet.
that's me. I'm a poet and I don't know it.
They there was no imagination to the game. I don't know what happened to Joe Brady. And it's just the play calling is just so generically bad. And even with how bad the defense looked at the beginning of the game, the second half of that game only allowing 3 points, and you can't come up with anything to capitalize on that against a team that is Atlanta was basically putting it there for the Bills to come back and win. Like they came out, had that drive, scored, and then you come back and on the next drive you get possession. You try and get cutesy again with another stupid end around from Elijah Moore that goes for negative yards, and you have to punt the damn ball away. This team is there. I believe it's Mr. B that has said it. The only people that can beat the Bills are the Bills, and right now they're doing it.
Paul,
No, no,
Bowers.
no. Go ahead. Let's keep the train rolling. I'll go last.
so I mean, I guess what I want to get into, I think it's so easy to pick on the defense, right? Like with that, the way the first half went down, and I think I don't want to give the defense a pass because they're not playing well, but the injuries I think helped me to give the defense a little bit of a pass. And the penalties were, yeah, the penalties are a thing, but they're not nearly as bad as they were the previous week. So that doesn't bother me that much. I feel like I kind of want to go where you guys went a little bit, and I think that's with the offense, right? And yeah, not a lot of imagination with the play call. I mean, they were running Cook a little while on those first couple of drives, and it seemed to work in the second half. But you know, you you're down. You score and you make it. You're down seven, so it was 14-21 right after the Bills got the ball in the second half. There, they stopped Atlanta. They get the ball back, and then that's it. That's it for the scoring for the rest of the game. And your defense held them to 3 points. The final was 24-14. So you got five more possessions with the ball in the second half, and you put no points on the board at all. And say what you want about the defense. I mean, this defense seems to play in halves, and second halves seem to have been pretty good for this defense for the most part throughout the season. So I don't really want to fault them too much. I want to know what the hell is going on with the offense. And if it's getting another wide receiver because it doesn't look like Keon Coleman is the answer or whatever they need to do, but something needs to change because this team is not equipped right now to make a run at the championship, which, as negative as we all may be coming across, or maybe the three of us and not Paul, we all want that. And I don't know if that's going to happen with the way this team is presently constructed. Coaching, the roster, the injuries, and the discipline, I think, are all a problem.
Don't give them too much of a pass on defense. I mean, watching them and like if you watched that entire game, the middle of the field was wide open. Like I'm sorry. Like I don't know if that's the linebackers, I don't know who's the fault there, but like the Drake London was tearing them apart in the middle of the goddamn field. Like how do you not just game plan for that, but how do you not make adjustments for that?
First of all, here's what I'm going to do. I'm taking away all of Paulie's ammunition that I know he's waiting to pull out. I know Paul. I know exactly what he's going to say. First of all, Paul, don't tell me to relax. That's the first thing you're going to say. I'm not going to relax. This has been the same repeat over and over again. 4-2, 4-2, 4-2.
What's the record?
4-2.
I hear it's 4-2.
I mean, we're just watching the same movie again. This is what it feels like, right? Does anything feel any different? I tell you what does feel different is that my quarterback no longer has confidence in his offense. And that showed in that game.
I didn't think about that.
You can see it in his face on the sideline that he was like, I have no answers. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now because I have no help. And my OC refuses to bring James Cook into the game. Now, this is offensive coordinator number 3 for McDermott, right? Year 2 of Dorsey, we were like, what is going on, right? Same thing right now. Year 2 of Brady, what is going on? Is
Not
Sean
wrong.
Like giving up everything to them with the point that they just do whatever they want? Sean says one thing in the media, and the opposite happens in the game. I mean, I understand people want him fired. I don't think he's going to get fired. I'm not going to put 100% of the blame on him. But we're just watching the same movie again. It's at the exact same time that Dorsey got fired, wasn't it? At this point, we were like, enough's enough. You got to go. And now he's doing the same thing.
It is weird how like eerily similar to it was, and it's almost like if they have a game like they had that because it was that Giants game, right? That was ultimately what got Dorsey fired was when I don't think they didn't score a touchdown in that game, or maybe they scored one and they won like 13-10 or something like that. Yeah, I think Dorsey got let go like right after that. So 14 points, man, that's rough.
And that's even with a productive previous year, just like Brady. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know what Sean does with these OCs, that this seems to be a pattern now. That they're just doing all the weirdest, dumbest. He says one thing, they do the opposite.
How did Dable avoid it then?
Dable booked on his own. That was the problem. Him and McD didn't get along because they didn't agree on everything.
Okay.
Or he just wanted to be a head coach somewhere.
Well, that too. But obviously, I mean,
that's a more simpler explanation of that, though.
You
really don't know that. You really don't know what you said is a fact.
How long was Dable the OC?
It's clearly evident, but it's not a fact.
2 years?
What?
I asked how long Dable had been the OC for.
3, right?
2 or 3 years.
3.
Because I mean, we didn't see this kind of breakdown though with Dable like we have with Dorsey and Brady. Like it's bizarre.
You did though.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. No, there was definitely a breakdown. There was definitely a break in communication. I'm not saying that Reese is wrong. I'm just saying stating it as fact is.
But let me ask you this though: when did the breakdown start? Year 2.
So
yeah, I mean, you got 2 alpha males going like in the same room trying to make a decision. One's trying to become a head coach somewhere else, and I'm sure that's going on with Brady too. And I'm sure that was was going on with the guy who we always forget his name, Dorsey. I'm sure that those were his aspirations at the time too. And then you have butting heads, and I want to put my stamp on it. No, you're not going to jeopardize us like that. I could see an argument like that happening. But I mean, you got a very, very highly visible position that is going to, if you do well at it, you're going to get looks at a head coach, probably a head coaching gig the next time there's one available, and there's always several available every year. So I mean, any coordinator who's choosing to be in this position is choosing to want to be a head coach at some point. And disagreements will happen. I don't think it's fair to blame all of that on Sean McDermott. I'm not a big fan of his either, but I think again, any talk of replacing him or even wanting to replace him is really premature at this point, 6 games in. And I understand what your points about that, but at the same time, we're 4-2. A lot of people had us to be exactly where we are right now. It was looking really, really good at 4-0. There were cracks that we're starting to see them come out more. I think, with time, these cracks will become, and we'll be fine for the playoffs. And it's a matter of, sometimes luck.
So let me ask you this then. If they continue down this trend, how bad does it have to get before a move is made? The deadline is either right before, right
if you
after
don't make if you don't make the playoffs, absolutely, that's 100% you're gone.
So the deadline for the movement is either before or after the Kansas City game.
November 4th, I believe.
Are they going to do something or not?
I
They
think
should. They absolutely should.
If they're going to do something, I'd watch it. It's going to happen this week and the off week for them going into next week. So they can roll somebody in because the deadline is November 4th. And there's cornerbacks already being traded for, wide receivers, running backs' names are popping up being traded for, and defensive linemen. So if Bean wants to get on top of this, he's going to have to do it this week. He can't wait to the deadline week.
The problem is that I was reading today, they only have like $2 million in cap space to play with. So
they're going to be a problem. That's why you make trades to get rid of some of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll cut back on whatever money they need in order to do that.
So who do you think they're willing to let go of, and for what is their number one in your thoughts?
Well, I don't think there's a right answer to that because it depends on the player.
Who are your thoughts?
I mean, there's no specific player to me. Everybody's on the table for me on that team, especially on that defense. Everybody's on the table.
I mean, I think Josh Allen, Deion Dawkins, and James Cook are the only players I don't move. Anybody else on that team, I move. Yeah. Anybody else? I mean, maybe not Hairston, obviously, but like
it depends. It depends on the return, though, too.
That's what I'm saying. So it just depends on what we get back and what that other team needs. So you got to find somebody that's willing to take money off of you.
I mean, warts and all. I'm not gonna give Keon up for a pack of cigarettes.
No, absolutely not. But what I'm saying is, you can trade somebody like, Curtis Samuel, who's making what,
$7 million
or something like that this season, something crazy, and that comes right off your books. That'll free us. But that's if another team's willing to take on that contract for a guy who's produced the way he has. So I mean, those are kind of in a corner. So Bean's gonna have to work some sort of magic. And in my opinion, the defense to me has too many holes for him to make up in the deadline. I'll be honest with you. They're gonna have to just go with what they got. The easiest fix to me is on offense is to get a wide receiver. That's probably the easiest fix and probably the fastest turnaround you can get.
Right, and I think the defense has proven itself. Even with its struggles, I think they've proven themselves to be able to stand up, but they need more support from the offense that they get in the last 2 weeks. And that's the reason we lost both games. It wasn't because of the defense, either one. No, the defense looked like absolute shit in the first half yesterday, but they brought it together. They sure as hell brought it together, and they deserve to have an offense to back them up.
They also got real lucky on that last play of the half.
Yeah, but I mean, luck is part of it. But but
I would say this though, Mike, that if they did get that touchdown, 28-14 going into the half changes that game completely.
28-7 going into the half.
28-7, 28-7 to go in a half changes that game completely. Absolutely changes everything. And can't stop. They couldn't stop the run anyway. That's all they would have done in the second half. Hand it off, eat the clock. Hand it off, eat the clock. I'm telling you right now, that's all they would have done. I mean, good thing that he, well, it doesn't really matter we lost, but, by a stroke of luck, he happened to step out of bounds. So
See,
it was lucky.
I don't understand why the Bills don't use Cook the way Atlanta uses Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice the way that they have Bijan lining up all over the field?
Yep.
Even so,
I just want to know what happened to Cook last night.
Like, why don't we have Ty Davis in the backfield and then Cook lined up at in the slot? Like,
because they don't trust him in pass blocking.
But then, like Paulie just said, what happened to Cook last night? There were points where it was like, what the hell is going on?
But that same thing happened, against the Saints until we figured it out in the second half. For some reason, I don't know if Brady's having this brain fart where he don't know whether to favor Josh or favor Cook, where he doesn't. I don't know if he knows how to figure out how to do it balanced. We've seen some games where he's called the game with balance, but it just seems like the last 2 weeks, it's just been like him just trying to get Josh Allen to throw the ball. Like, we have not attempted to throw the ball as much as we've had over these last 2 weeks. And, I mean, it's just throw most of the time. And they remove James Cook from the offense when you do that because they don't trust him to pass block. But you're right, though. They can definitely put Ty Johnson in and then put him out wide, just like Atlanta does. But that's an OC issue. The OC, you got to ask him, why is he not utilizing, and this is my issue with Sean, they sold us on all these players they brought in and the amount of money and try to justify why they paid them for it. They don't use any of them in the offense how they explained they were going to be used. None of them. How is Curtis Samuel supposed to produce if you're just playing him in the slot? The man played the boundary before, too.
If he's even playing.
Keon Coleman, is that all we can do is contest the balls to him? Just weird that every time you throw the ball to him, there's somebody all over him. He's never separated from anybody.
And you mean to tell me you can't scheme that guy open? Like,
that's my point.
There are players much older and much slower than him who get schemed open, and he's a freak athlete. I get it; he's not the fastest guy in the world, but that shouldn't matter.
Well, see, and that's my concern with this everybody's eat mentality that they took ownership of. Is when you do that.
Kansas City owns it now.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yep.
But when you do that, you put yourself in the corner. Because now we're expecting everyone to perform when they're needed. And we're not getting any of that. None of the money that they pay for anybody in offense except for James Cook and Josh Allen is justified to me right now. They've spent money on wide recievers that they explained to us we're going to do this and that in this offense, and I have not seen the OC use any of them in that faction yet.
Palmer.
That was the first time I seen this dude get more than one catch in the game was in there before he got hurt.
It looked like he was potentially going to have a big game till he got hurt there.
But I mean, what are we doing though?
Well, what's strange about it too is to your point about the 2-year thing. Last year, after when Brady got going and everything else like that, nothing seemed hard, right? Like this team, I never doubted that this team wasn't going to pick up a first down on third down, and they were 2 for 8 yesterday, right? And this whole year, other than the Baltimore game, they've looked like they've struggled, to pick up conversions. And every time I get the ball, I don't often think I don't know how far this is going to go. Whereas most of last year, I was kind of oh yeah, there's no problem. There's no problem at all. They'll score or they'll extend drives. It's Josh Allen. They'll be fine. And now, I have no confidence half the time that they're even going to be able to pick up a third down.
No, they're struggling to pick up third and shorts on some of these, and the ones that they do pick up, I'm holding my breath if there's going to be a flag or not.
They're only struggling third and short because they called this dumbest play for third and short. That stupid jet sweep handoff. I mean, 3 weeks in a row, and it has not worked once. 2 of the times you fumbled it.
After McDermott came out and called him out for it too.
Right. Did Sean not do that last week and say we were too cute? And then your OC goes and does it again.
It's almost like he's trying to get fired.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but there's a pattern. There is definitely a pattern. Paul, you may be right with aspirations being a head coach and everything, but you're not going to get a head coaching job doing that.
Not if you suck.
Just ask the last guy.
Yeah, Dorsey, he's still now he still ain't a head coach.
Did somebody hire him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in
I know he was in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think he works for the Saints. I think he works for the Saints now. No?
Is it the Saints?
Maybe.
He's an OC somewhere still right now. But I just this is why I want, and this is why I always will say, I want an offensive head coach.
No, you're not wrong.
And that's the only reason why I say I would get rid of McD is because I want a different coach. I want an offensive coach for my MVP quarterback, not a Bill Belichick.
The Bills have always had it feels like they've, for a while now, that they've had a thing for defensive coaches, though. Between Rex Ryan and McDermott.
But you had no choice but getting the defensive coach because you had no quarterback.
That's
so
exactly what I was going to say. You always
now you got a quarterback.
Yeah,
so you don't need a defensive coach anymore. You need an offensive coach.
And then that's the problem. I think, to your point, is I really, this is the conversation I want to get into, because it's going around the national media like everywhere, and it's are they wasting Josh Allen's prime? That's all anybody's talking about this week, last week. I mean, hell, since they lost last year, right? And since coaching has cost them in quite a few, since 13 seconds, right? Is coaching the reason you are wasting this unicorn that you have at quarterback? Generational talent. Like, how many teams would win the Super Bowl with Josh Allen? 20 of them? Why aren't we one of them? You put Josh Allen on how many other rosters would that team be able to make it to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. See, that's a tough question for me because a lot of times it just depends on where you go. There's some organizations. Could you imagine him going to Cleveland? Do you think Cleveland?
Cleveland would be sure, not Cleveland, but I mean any team that's like decent. We're not even decent.
What is the stat? That if a quarterback and coach pairing doesn't win it in their first 5 years, they're not going to win it. Something like that.
Send him to the Chargers, send him to Denver, obviously Kansas City, Baltimore.
No, I wouldn't send him to the Chargers. Chargers can't handle quarterbacks either.
Maybe.
No.
Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
They deflated Tyrod's lung.
Yeah.
Who was that deflated Tyrod's lung?
Chargers.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
They tried to take Tyrod out.
They did.
No, but there's so many teams though. Green Bay.
Maybe he was breathing too fast.
Detroit. Not Chicago. Minnesota. Look at what Minnesota did with Sam Darnold last year. 15 wins. You mean to tell me Josh Allen wouldn't be there? They wouldn't have won the whole damn thing?
Yeah, but what does Minnesota have?
Justin Jefferson.
Exactly. Minnesota has a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these teams have a legit number one threat?
Look at what Baker's doing right now.
To be honest with you, this defense hasn't stopped no number ones anything on anybody's team.
Hell, put him on Atlanta. Put him on Atlanta with freaking. They made what's his face, Drake London or whatever, look like Jerry Rice yesterday.
Who were you going to say, Paul?
I can't remember.
But that's my point. Go and get somebody. I
agree. They need help. They definitely need a number one receiver. Go get Olave. Go get somebody.
Go get Garrett Wilson.
The Jets aren't going to give him up for cheap to us.
Yeah, no.
Give him Keon Coleman in your first.
But I could give two shits what they give up, honestly. But except for those three people that Michael mentioned before, Cook, Allen, and Dawkins, they stay.
Yeah.
Anybody you want? I'm listening to anybody else.
Yep.
Anybody else? I wouldn't trade Hairston, but I don't think anybody would ask for Hairston because he hasn't seen the field yet. But anybody else.
Do you give up Shakir?
Yes, in a
Yep.
second.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Or
mean, if you're
number- or
gonna
number one receiver,
I wouldn't
I'd
even
give up
hesitate.
Shakir.
if you're gonna bring in Garrett Wilson, yeah, in a second. Look at all these teams that are bad right now. The Jets are bad, dude. I mean, they wouldn't try. I wouldn't want Brees Hall because he's a running back, but I would take Garrett Wilson. I would take Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins.
Yeah, but most of those teams aren't training us. They're not training any of those guys us. And
No,
that's the unfortunate thing is that the teams that have the players we would need are mostly not efficient.
I mean, or Nico Collins.
Yeah, if Houston's willing to park with him, but he's only a downfield threat. He's not a number one.
No.
He's way better than anything we have, though.
I get it, but I mean, he's just a downfield threat. That's it. You're still a one-trick pony.
I think your Olave would be a decent choice.
I do like Olave.
He's so injury prone, though.
Even the other guy from there, what's his name, Shaheed?
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, but he's small. He's small. I like sizable wide receivers for Josh.
So do I, but once again, you got to find someone who's willing to give one up.
I know that's what we're just.
I mean, the Bills had an opportunity when fucking Metcalf was a free agent.
Yeah.
Like, figure something out.
Why did Metcalf go to Pittsburgh? Before Aaron Rodgers was there.
Before there was even a quarterback.
You know, you could have paid. You mean to tell me that they couldn't have gotten Metcalf done?
Move people's salaries around. Figure something out. Like, I'm sure they have numbers guys that can figure this crap out.
And you know what else too? Let's not leave Bean out of this. I mean, your drafts are killing you right now.
100%. Like, what the hell is going on with Landon Jackson?
I mean, most of the draft picks for the last 2 seasons, have contributed very little to this team. Very little. And right now, your entire draft class right now, half of them can't get on the field. The other ones are all injured. You have one rookie right now that's able to play, and Deion Walker.
And the tight end, he's playing.
Oh yeah, he can't be Hawks. But you're not getting much out of any of these guys. TJ Sanders goes on injured reserve. I don't even call him ever making a play in the game.
Yeah.
That Xavier Worthy miss is looking worse and worse every week too.
See, I don't agree with
that. This offense over what they drafted.
Yeah, I think you're right about Bean. Does he go before McDermott goes?
No.
I don't think. No, they both have to go at the same. They're both going to have to. If the one goes, the other one's going to go. That's how it's going to work.
I don't think that'll happen. I think, if anything, McDermott would go first. But
I just don't think Pagula cares that much.
That's what I was just going to say. Keep in mind that we're owned by an owner who refuses to fire the GM for their hockey team.
that is a good point. Come on, Paulie. Give him his flowers. Give him his flowers.
I'm sorry, but Kevin Adams has been running the Sabres now for 2 years? And they are
longer than that.
Whatever. They're not even a dumpster fire. They're what's beyond a dumpster fire. They're like a dumpster that's been on fire that was put out and then lit on fire again.
So we'll get into the Sabres another time, but let's
Go ahead, Paulie. Give your 2 cents.
Listen, you guys all need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down.
There it is.
You really do. I mean, I'm worried about Reese over here. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it, man. The guy is really, really wound up about this. Sean's very tight. He wants to fire the coach. Jeez, that's just definitely a risky move, Mike. You're just
fire the water boy.
Crazy for years. You've been beyond help for years. I can't even go there. I'm not going to touch that one. But all three of you are insane.
Hey, listen.
There's not one team in this league that is undefeated.
Okay.
Losses happen. They do.
Yeah, but embarrassing
losses. Teams go in slumps. Yeah, they do. I told you guys in the prediction show back in August, whenever we did that, or July. This team is going to have some Billsy losses. Prepare yourself. They're not going to look like themselves a couple times in the first few weeks.
I think the thing that makes it so difficult is knowing that with the way the schedule was set up this year, and
We all had them losing 2 games in the first 6, though, Sean.
you're
We
right.
all had them. We all had them going 4-2. Some of us might have had them going, 3-2 or 3-3.
I mean, I had them
but
picked
at this
to lose
time,
the New England game.
but we all had them to be 4-2 at the bye, pretty much. Nobody had them any better than 4-2.
Hang on.
That's for
Hold
sure.
on. No, Paul. I'm not going to let you get away with that. I am not going to let you get away with that.
He's not wrong, though, too.
No. I'm going to give you some pushback here. So we thought that we were going to lose. Most of us thought they were going to lose to Baltimore, right? Because we thought Baltimore.
No, I had them to win.
Playoff team, right?
No, I think
I had them to win that game.
Sean was the only one who had him losing that game.
Yeah, you all picked him to win.
So, but my point is that Baltimore was chosen to beat the Bills. Everyone says it, right? We didn't really. That game could have went either way.
Yeah,
but them losing to Baltimore wouldn't have shocked us. Am I correct?
Right. Oh. That's what we all said.
There. Now you go up against the Jets.
I had them losing to the Jets.
I had no way them losing any of the AFC East teams except for New England and New England. That's the only loss I expected them to have this year.
For somebody who bases every theory and every thought that they have on history and recent history, like you would say that with straight face that you would have them going undefeated in the AFC East, knowing what you know about this team, this specific team in recent history.
Wait a minute, hold on. No. You're not going to no, Paul. No, you are not getting away with this today. You're trying your best to be sly and try and get out of the way and deflect and stuff. This is about you now.
I'm not deflecting
about
shit.
You. All right? There's no way we expected, if they lost to Baltimore, none of us would be shocked. There's no way you expected them to lose to the Jets of Miami. There's nothing that says they would have ever lost.
I had them losing to the Jets and the Falcons, I believe.
Okay, well, you're a bad judge of a team. That explains it.
Well, that's exactly what happened, though. Almost.
No. I'm talking here. So let's stop making excuses.
I'm pretty sure he's not lying to you.
They should have beat New England at home. We don't ever lose at home.
You just don't like the fact that I'm right.
We barely got out of the Saints. These are all bottom-feeding teams. If you're going to tell me you expected to lose to all those bottom-feeding teams,
we do every year.
Oh,
but the thing is though, that's the point though, Paul. Like, we do every year. Yeah, but what changes though? What changes?
No.
When we make it to the postseason, what's going to change? If we do the same shit every year, are we just going to go out in the divisional round again? Are we just going to run into the Kansas City buzzsaw again?
I bet you'll tune in to find out. And I bet you'll tune in to find out.
Of course I will. But like at the same time, I want this team to win. And like this team's
every
not
game. Sure. Everybody wants that.
No. I don't even care about that. I want them to make it to the postseason, and this has been their opportunity to get the 1 seed, which is crucial to making it to the championship game. That having that week off, especially for a team that's plagued with injuries, that is crucial.
How many games? How many losses do you think the 1 seed will have?
4.
4 at most.
Reese? Do you agree, Reese?
What? If it's 4?
Yeah.
No. How many losses will the 1 seed have?
I'm going to say 3.
Yeah, not there yet.
So my point that I want to make real quick before you all start yelling again is it's not just the fact that they've lost these 2 games, because you're right, Paul. Most of us did. Like, I know that you and I both picked them to lose to Atlanta because it was a trap game. It's not the fact that they've lost. It's how they've looked while losing. And even how they've looked while winning in several of these games. Like that game against New Orleans. I believe Mike said it last week. They should have come out and curb stomped New Orleans. And they didn't.
Adversity breeds success.
And you're not wrong. That is a valid argument. But with so many injuries, and B, with just, it feels like a lack of talent in a lot of these spots.
Sure,
How
and
much
it would.
success could that
We
breed?
lost two in a we lost two in a row. Absolutely, it does. Two losses in a row will do that.
I guess just what I want to know is just what is going to be different.
Yeah.
What's going to change? The roster's worse than it was last year. Like, what's going to be any different? They did nothing to improve this roster at all. I don't think anything like any of the draft picks or anybody they brought in is any better than anybody who was here last year. And you still have the same coach who's not a good coach, who can't make good decisions. He can't figure out what he wants to do on fourth down half the time. Like, the time management is awful. The penalties are coaching. I mean, and the penalties have been abysmal the last 3 games. Like, I don't know what the deal with all the penalties are. And like, I'm not Mr. Blame the referees, but like, my God, these pre-snap penalties that they're getting, like, what the F is going on with that? Like, you gotta fix that.
See, I
You
don't
gotta
get
fix
how
that.
they went the first 3 games as one of the least penalized teams as like one of the least penalized teams in the league. How these last 2 games are they the most penalized team? Like,
So that's the kind of stuff that's going to prevent you from getting to your goal.
Well,
And
don't forget too. There's also
You're
another
right.
thing that
You're
there's
right.
another thing. There's another thing with coaching that people sometimes forget about is after some point you've had enough. You've coached the same players for a number of years that you speaking now doesn't really do anything anymore. They've heard everything you've said. So there's nothing you can possibly say to a lot of these players. So you're starting to see players like Deion Dawkins jumping off sides, Oliver. I mean, these are players we were depending on to be the pros on the team with a bunch of young players underneath them, and they're actually the ones causing the penalties. That's where that's another issue of my thing with Big D. I think your message gets old after a while. It does. That's why your boy. This is one of the reasons why Belichick used to get rid of players earlier in their careers than most teams would. At some
so
point, he knows they're going to be too expensive, and at some point, these guys are going to want too much.
what's the average lifespan of a coach? Like, what's the average time a coach spends with a team?
that's such a loaded question. I mean,
Yeah,
some of these guys, Harbaugh
No, I
and
understand there's some guys who have been
Allen have been
around
there for
forever,
20 years.
but
It depends on the franchise. That's such a loaded question. We could
no,
spend
like
Yeah.
I'm not
spend
saying
a
one of
whole
these teams that's managed to keep somebody forever, but like your average team, is there an average time?
it has to do with, but it has to do that has to do with the success of the team. It has to, if a team's losing, if you have a team that wins 3 games 3 years in a row, I mean, new coach, right? If you have a team that wins 8 or 9 games every year, that coach is going to be there forever.
My point is there a shelf life on McDermott? Like
Yes,
when
you know
was
what
it?
it is. It's what Paul said earlier. It's they don't make the postseason this year. He's gone. He has to be gone if they don't make the postseason this year, or if the quarterback wants him gone.
Yeah.
If
and
Josh,
that's one of the
if
worries I've
Josh
always
wants,
had with Josh is that I
the
think he's just too nice.
if Josh wants him gone, yeah, but you don't know what kind of politicker Josh is behind the scenes. I
You
mean,
really don't. You really don't. He could have had a lot to do with getting Diggs out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just
we
saying.
don't like because they're going to do everything in their power. Anything Josh wants, Josh is going to get, and that includes if he wants McD gone. And I got to tell you, I don't know what it means, but Josh has looked really, really. And you said it, Reese. Josh doesn't trust his roster right now. You can see it in his face. He doesn't trust the talent around him. Like
There's
these
no
wide
talent
receivers,
around him.
these
That's the
wide
problem.
receivers are not getting open for him at all. Like, and that's why he's having to force all of these balls because these receivers are not getting open. So he absolutely has the power to say, "Look, you got to make some changes," and he can go right to Pagula, and
Speaking of Josh, he's all right? Because it did look like there was
He
after
said
that
he's
one hit
fine.
he took. Okay.
He claims that he's fine. But my thing is though, do you ever envision Josh doing that?
the
No,
Josh
he
that,
comes across as too nice of a guy.
but that's just the guy that he comes across as. We don't know
Yeah,
how
that's
he.
the guy. That's his public face. He knows it's a business. He knows it's his business.
You're not wrong.
And no, he's. I bet you He's savvy enough to get himself a D1 contract and then get himself out drafted in the first round.
He wants to win. He
I
wants
mean,
to win though. Like he wants to win. And then like he's got to understand too that he's only got a limited shelf life with which to do this. And you got to think like he's not going to put up with this much longer. He might demand to be traded if they don't do something.
That's always a possibility.
He might be like, look, you're not, I want to win. I mean, his whole thing now, like he doesn't need the money from the contract. He's on every friggin' commercial you see now.
Yeah, every commercial on TV,
like,
Josh.
He's doing cryptocurrency. He's got he owns like a business of some kind as well.
He has a farm.
He has some kind of farm or whatever, like for pistachios or something. He owns a shoe company. He's married to a movie star. Like, I mean, he doesn't need money anymore.
Yeah.
Dude doesn't need money anymore. It's about legacy for him now, and he wants to win. So, I don't know. He's got the power to make that happen.
Man, but I just don't see him doing it. I don't see it coming from him. I think it's going to have to come from Pagula. That's the only person I think is willing to that would have to pull the trigger, because I don't see Bean going in and saying let go of McD unless Pagula threatens him with his job.
Well, the thing is, you wouldn't know, right? Like if it was Allen, you wouldn't know.
I agree, but I think it's more Pagula than anything. I mean, again, look how he's treating the hockey team, dude. It's hands off. It's hands off. And that's what I'm afraid of with the Bills. And this is why I think we're more upset. This is why I'm more upset, is that, again, we're watching the same movie again, Paul. Paul, you can't say we're not.
I'm not saying we're not. I'm saying I'm watching the same thing every fucking week with everybody wanting to kill the coach. I'm also watching the games. I'm also seeing the players doing things. Who knows what they're doing and why they're doing the things the way they're doing. But it's not all on the coaches. No. And we're not going to make a change mid-season. So it's a fruitless conversation, and all the talk about it's going to make me crash out.
It's the thing though is it's just
boring. It's boring talk because it's fruitless.
But it's easy to blame the coach is why it happens. They're an easy target.
Why are we doing it then?
Because part of it is on like Brady and that. That's who my target is. It's not McDermott. Normally I'm Mr. Fuck Sean McDermott. I cannot stand Sean McDermott. But even I will say that this is not all on McDermott at all. This I firmly believe that it's on play calling and it's on lack of talent.
Which is if you're going to say lack of talent, you pointing the finger at Bean now.
And okay, maybe I'm getting to that point. You'll notice I haven't posted my usual weekly Fire McDermott in a while. It's because I'm beyond that. It's not as much as I can't stand McDermott. You're right, Paul. You got me to the point where I understand that. But the play calling is atrocious, and Bean is partially to blame.
Well, I think sometimes he escapes a lot of the blame. I think a lot of people get blame to McD.
But you're right. It is pointless to blame McDermott during the season because no change would be made during the season as far as a head coach goes.
I'm not saying you can't blame him. I'm just saying enough with the talk about firing the guy.
That's what I'm agreeing with.
Let him see. Let's see how this works out. Let's see how this plays out. We need to make some changes on the player level. We don't need to make any changes on the coaching level right now. Because the players are the ones that play the game.
You're right.
My point is that these guys are exactly where we thought they would be at this time in the season. I don't care what the losses look like. Losses look like losses. And they're not going to be pretty. I don't care if they're right next to each other or far apart from each other. They're still fucking ugly. And if anyone thinks that there's no problem or anything like that, they're kidding themselves. But let's focus on how to fix the problems the correct way. Is my point. I
just don't think anybody.
Let's not talk. Let's hold the firing the coach and firing the GM talks until after the season's over. After what you guys are convinced that it's going to happen is that we're all going to flame out, not going to make the playoffs, or be out in the first round of the playoffs like every other year, because every other year tells us exactly what's going to happen the next year. It doesn't. It doesn't. It does. Newsflash. It doesn't.
It does for us lately.
I mean, you're right. Any given Sunday, the game can be different. You're not wrong with that. But I think the bigger concern that people I will say, as far as I say, is, like I said, just you're not wrong. Losses suck. They look bad regardless. But none of us could have predicted how abysmal these last 2 weeks have looked.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Let me tell you what feels different than before. I don't see how they're going to fix all the problems they have this year. You know, the last few years has been a hole here, a hole there, kind of pick up some guys that fill in those spots. But this has just been a debacle from the start of the season to now. Every week there's an issue. This has not been like this in this pattern, the way things are falling in place. I wouldn't say it's the same. Just because we're 4-2 at this point doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't use that as the measuring stick. What I'm using is that what the state of the team is, the full team. And this full team has so many holes and problems that they're not going to be able to address all of them over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So at this point, that's why I said, my thing is, if Bean's going to show that he's got some fight in him, he's going to address something. And it can't be some small something. It can't be some guy they used to be in Carolina. We're tired of it.
No.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, too, we
got players currently right now that used to be in Carolina. We just brought in, like that Franklin guy. I need Bean to gamble for once. Yeah. Screw the draft picks. Enough's enough. I mean,
the defensive side, we have at least those guys coming off suspension that'll fill some holes. But you're right. If they don't do something splashy in the next, you said, I feel like.
I'm not saying doing nothing splashy. What I'm saying is
by splashy, I mean
that's going to immediately contribute to either the offense or the defense.
That's what I mean. Whatever they have to do is something that's going to have immediate impact. It's got to be a wide receiver, and I still think they desperately need a defensive back.
But the problem with the defensive backs is if you don't have a pass rush, it doesn't matter who you got back there. I mean, they were struggling just to get the Penix, who was just standing there in the pocket.
It doesn't help.
You're not getting anything. Joey Bosa has been a waste.
It doesn't help that even when they get to him, they can't bring him down. He
can't stop the run. He can't sack a quarterback. For some reason, he must put grease on his arms because every time he touches a quarterback, he slides right off of him. So that's a waste of money. Gregory Rousseau, you know what? You don't get credit for blocking that kick last night. The kick was already shanked before he even got in the air.
Well, you just hate Rousseau. So.
It hit him in an armpit. Outside of that, you're paying this. You extended this guy to be an outside edge. He just contains the edge. That's the only thing he's really good at. That's it. That's what we're paying him to do. We drafted him first round to be an edge guy that just contains. What sense does that make? And this is what I'm saying with them telling us all this junk about these players, and none of it came to fruition with any of them. Minus Kincaid starting to come around. I give you that one. But who else?
I think not having him in the lineup yesterday hurt.
Huh?
Not having Kincaid in the lineup yesterday, I think, hurt.
Absolutely.
But because he's definitely been there it feels like he's had some big catches this year. But your point to the tackling that you said about Bosa, it's not just him though. I don't know if you've noticed it as much, but it feels like just they're not able to bring guys down.
Yeah.
That long run for the touchdown that Bijan had. Why is he not just trying to at least hit the guy out of bounds?
He's a young player, so he took a bad angle on that, but he's not the only one doing it. And my thing is, to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, Cole Bishop looked good for a little bit, just for a little bit, But he's really not contributing, dude. They got this poor kid blitzing the run. He's not. I mean, you ever see the size of him?
Is he little?
He's running right. I watched him. They kept blitzing him and trying to blitz him into the run plays. Offensive lineman just lifting him off the ground. Like, whose idea was that? And he's not with the safety that we thought they claimed he was going to be. I still haven't seen it out of him. And then you got Rapp back there who, for some reason, forgot how to tackle. Forgot how to tackle people. I don't know what's going on out there. And I think everybody they put money into, they're not getting any returns on any of them. And most of the people they've given returns to, extended out, were people we were questioning before they even got extended. So think about that. We were already questioning their abilities.
Who's the linebacker we had that went to Chicago?
Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay. It's too bad they couldn't have kept him.
Well, they had the decision. They had him and Josh the same year. So don't forget, they got drafted in the first round, both in the first and that same year. But I'd rather pay, obviously, Josh was the better deal. I mean, Evans didn't impress me at all at middle linebacker either. And this is, I'm going all day about personnel because this organization is so bad at personnel. It's laughing. It's a laughing stock.
The other problem that doesn't help is that after how bad of a game last night was, going into the bye week immediately, it just leaves people stewing on how bad that was. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely not going to help because all you're going to have whenever the media and that wants to talk about the Bills until their next game, there's going to be nothing positive to say, which is going to kill everybody's mindset. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well, I don't know about the players. I mean, maybe it's
I'm talking
more than anything. I mean, we're giving Nick Wright every opportunity to get us to, click on his Twitter feed now because
I'm talking us as fans.
No, that's what I'm talking about as fans. It's exactly it. They're getting all the ammunition they need now because of the way this team looks. And we're all going to fall into it. There'll be all kind of hate mail sent into Nick Wright and all that other stuff. But all I'm saying is Bean's got to show some huevos. He's got to. Enough's enough. Just playing it safe and trying to save draft picks and not doing nothing too crazy.
I'm throwing a flag.
Doing one major move.
Mike, I'm throwing a flag on Reese. What's
the call?
He said illegal use of huevos. 15 yards. Get back there. 15 yards.
Huevos rancheros.
Hey, you want the algorithm to pick up me saying balls? Is that what you want?
No, you're not wrong. They need to do something, and if they don't want to, I'm going to say the majority of the fan base is probably not as level-headed as Paulie here. I think.
Oh, listen, Paulie. First of all, you guys didn't know Paulie's name. His nickname on the streets, do you? Paul's name on the street is St. Bill's.
Is what?
St. Bill's. That's Paulie B.
I thought it was the chair.
And this is why we have Paulie on.
Oh, is that what Ben calls me?
Paulie keeps us jumping off the ledge. That's what he's here for. Keep us jumping from off the ledge.
Oh, it's just I don't like non-productive conversations.
He's here to stop Overreaction Tuesday.
That's what he's here for.
To be the voice. He's the voice of reason.
Guys. There's no way he can go through this.
I got to keep you honest, Reese.
I know you do. But all I'm saying is he has to make a move right now where he has a little bit of a buffer to wheel somebody in here to learn to help out with this team. I don't think he can wait to the deadline. Something's got to happen within the next 10 days. Something's going to happen.
I guess there is a positive, though. We could be the Baltimore Ravens.
Our defense looks like Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, but our record doesn't, so that's at least a positive.
Yeah, I want to thank God for Josh. That's about it.
Hey, got to find the positives where you can, T.
Yeah, that's true.
And all right, guys. We've been going on for a while here. Any final thoughts before we wrap up for the day?
I think Paulie should go first.
Everybody relax.
Yeah, let's just hope they get healthy throughout the bye
Take it easy.
maybe they can make a move.
Hey, Bean, you better do something. And I don't want no peanuts. I don't want no aging wide receiver who's on the decline like you've been doing the last couple of years. We need a playmaker in this organization. Enough's enough. Bring us a number one.
Let's get DeAndre Hopkins.
Nah.
There we go.
Somebody on the radio said today, brought up saying that they need to bring in Bakari Rambo. I think they were
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Is he still even playing?
Somebody said that, yes.
Bakari Rambo.
Wow. They must have a jersey.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Jeremy White would say.
Yeah.
No, it was a caller. It was a caller.
Yeah, that's he probably has the jersey and he needs to make a reason for having that jersey.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Paulie, for kind of talking us off the ledge. I still don't like your takes sometimes, but I still love you, brother.
You don't have to like my takes. My takes are my takes.
I hate them, actually. I'm just trying to be nice on camera.
I know you hate them.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, and by the way, don't be like Sean.
Don't be like Sean.
I don't want to be like that.
Sean sucks.
Wow, that was mean.
All right. That's our show, folks.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining us as always. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.